What's up, guys? Dark J here, and bringing you another Miners Haven video. Alright, so as you guys can tell here, the video quality of this video is far superior to the last two videos I put out, and that's because I upgraded my hard drive with more space, and now I can use fraps. Reason why I couldn't use fraps before, I didn't have enough hard drive space after a colossal crash in my computer about 6 months ago, as I already told you guys about. But as far as today's video goes, you guys challenged me to make a build, an early game build, that could net you guys quadrillions, okay? With no reborn items, no vintage items, and no UC items. Just cash shop items only. And I went through the wiki, and unfortunately a lot of the items put out different values than what the wiki states. The wiki is wrong on so many fronts. But with that being said, I still was able to come up with a setup that brings in quite a few trillions every minute or so, and within an hour I would say you will definitely have two to three quadrillion per hour, maybe even 4 or 5. I haven't really had a chance to watch this all that much. I'm making, as you can see by looking at this, each time one of these ores comes into the sacrificial altar, they're coming out as 85 to 100 and something odd billion, okay? 127, 137, 120, okay? That's a crap ton of billions. As you can see, my trillions came up. Now, this entire setup I built with less than $10 trillion, okay? So I had this in mind for people who have bad luck when they're opening crates and quite literally don't have any real money to spend in the UC store, or just simply don't have any reborn items. This is early game. This is so that you can get enough money to hopefully upgrade to something like the Dream Maker, which would be 2.15 quadrillion. So basically you would run this so you can upgrade to the Dream Maker, or till you can upgrade to some better, or till you can get some better upgraders, such as, if we look through here, the Cursed Ore Purifier, things of that nature. So I'm gonna showcase this here now and just sort of show you and explain why I went this route, and show you what everything's doing and why it's doing, why I set it up the way I did. Okay, now first off, I had to use bismuth. My original intention was to use painite mines because the wiki stated the painite mine only gave out $768 per ore, but when I put it into a regular furnace, it came out to 1.2k per ore, so it would not work with this setup. It actually costs too much, the ore cost. Now the reason I'm putting all these ore purifiers here is because I am taking now a ore from the bismuth that is approximately $420 worth each ore. I am putting it through these now, the ore purifiers, to get the cost of the ore up to about 1,000. Okay, now if we come down here to the end, you'll see the ore magnifier is only blinking every so often. Okay, which is a good thing. We really don't want it to blink a lot. Most of the ores going through here, it's not blinking, so it's doing its job with most of these ores. I don't know why it's still fluctuating, since these are all standard amount setups. Okay, again, some things are a little bit off or a little bit wonky, but we now have 17 way up high upgraders. Okay, the reason I have 17 of them is because you can see the last two are blinking, which means that the ones leaving here are worth 500 million apiece. All these ores that are clumped up and going through here are 500 million apiece. Okay, now I have the digital ore cleaners because what the ore cleaners do. Oh, actually, I should explain that. Actually, let's go back here and explain this. The magnifier. If you look at the magnifier that is before the way up high upgraders, what it does is it will increase the value of an ore by 300%, but it only affects values that are worth less than 1,000. So that is why I wanted to get close to $1,000 in value on the ores, but not go over prior to it. Okay, and then putting it through here, these way up high upgraders have the restriction of they can only accept ores worth up to 4 million. So basically, if the cost of the ore is over 4 million, it will not accept it, and it will blink like these ones have been blinking. Okay, so now we know that the ores are at 4 million here. Okay, not 500, 4 million leaving here. And then when they go into the digital ore scanners is a very large upgrader that uses advanced computer systems to increase the following of the ore by 60% up to 100 million. Okay, and they're slow. So in between here, I use nuclear conveyors to speed up the process, to make it so they move through here a little bit more efficiently. Alright. Now, if you notice on the last one, it is blinking. Okay? And since the last one is blinking with pretty much every ore that goes through it, we know that they are leaving here at around $100 million in worth. Okay? I come around a corner. I have a ramp going into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Freon blasters. Okay? And as you'll notice, these last two are blinking. Okay? If the Freon blasters are blinking, that's a good thing, because then that means your ore is leaving here at around 500 million, okay, in value. Okay, at 500 million in value, they are now going into the portable ore advancers, which you can have 30 of these. These have no cash cap, okay? From here, I have them going into 3 ore zappers, which is a limit on these. Okay, and then the ore zappers, what they do is they increase the value of an ore by 25%, up to 3 times. There's no cash limit, so that means that literally no matter what the value of this ore is, they're going to increase the value of the ore by 25%. And then I have 5 of these advanced ore scanners set up. Now what these do is these also have no cash cap, but they increase the value of the ore 3 times. Okay, so actually if we remove this here and we put a regular furnace here, we'll see the value of the ore leaving here at about 12.9 billion, and it fluctuates. So let's look and see what, oops, $19, $13. Okay, so we're in the billions here. All right. So basically, let's remove that and let's put our walled conveyor back in there that was there. Okay. And now we'll watch the furnace again and see. We're looking at about 100 billion per ore, okay? Now at about 100 billion per ore, 10 ores, you're looking at $1 trillion, and the amount of ores coming through here is constant. Okay, I'd say we're probably looking at about, so if we're probably around 200 to 300 billion per second. Okay, so if 200 to 300 billion per second times 60 seconds, let's pull out our calculator here real quick. Okay, so let's say we're at 200 billion per second times 60 equals, alright, so 12,000 billion. So basically we're looking at 12 trillion per minute. Okay, at 12 trillion per minute, we are looking at close to 1 quadrillion per hour. Okay. Now, do I feel that this is the most effective method? Well, most of the time when you are trying to get to this area, you're also going crate hunting, and you will get crate items. Now, for instance, if you got, say, per se, the pirate loot collector. Ah, I had it. Where the heck did it go? There it is. Now, say per se you got the pirate loot collector, okay? And you took a osmium mine, okay, and put it in there. This thing is going to net you in at about, if I can see it, 20.5 million. Okay. So the value coming out of this thing is a heck of a lot higher. And for just the cost of about 12 trillion, okay, this will make your money back within a couple of minutes. Okay, so this setup is going to make your money back within maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then continuously make you a bunch of trillions. Now, when you get up into the trillions like this, then you can steadily start upgrading the system. Okay, now I told you I'd get you to the quadrillions with an early game setup. This is meant to get you a boost, so that way you can get into upgrading more things. All right. The first thing you would do when you get into here, alright, now that you're in the trillions, is you're going to look at adding things like this in the beginning, and removing all of these, and then removing all of these and adding things like Schrodinger when you get the money. But the first thing that I would say to get would be to save up and try to get a Dream Maker. Once you get a Dream Maker, this thing will make you trillions a lot quicker, okay, and in turn quadrillions a lot quicker. So with that being said, you can also, now this setup will not work with anything higher than the osmium mines. Alright, so this is an early game setup with osmium mines. Okay, anything higher than osmium is not going to work. Okay, now beyond this here, if you want to upgrade to better mines such as like the painite, which I'll show you the value inside of an pirate collector here. Alright, let's look at a painite inside of a pirate collector. The painite is going to net you 57.6 million. Okay? Now, given the fact that this is here, you could literally replace this entire setup with things like painite mines and cell furnaces, and over time. The other thing that you can do is upgrade to painite mines and remove the ore magnifier and all of these, and just have painite mines feeding this back end from the way up high upgraders on. Okay, and that can also net you money very quickly. Now actually we're going to look and see exactly how much money that would net you. So let's get rid of this. Let's withdraw this. Alright. Now let's go back over here. Now remember, the setup that you guys seen initially here was just to get you enough to buy upgrades. Now, once you have as many trillion as you can see up in the top here, like what I'm showing you, then you can start doing something like this here. Alright. Now we're just going to showcase a painite mine. Obviously you would probably have the painite mines dropping directly into teleporters and then having that work that way. What I'm going to actually do now is I'm going to destroy all ore. I'm going to come over here. And apparently something is happening here where I can't select anything. I don't know what's going on. But which means I can't remove anything. I can play stuff, but I can't remove anything. That's weird. Okay. I am clicking on this and nothing is happening. Well, anyway, let's watch and see what the painite mine ores are doing now, going through this system. And as you can see, they're blinking right around here, so these are still effective. And these are also still effective, okay? So quite literally, this system is upgradable. All you have to do after you get a certain amount to where you can start buying painite mines is tear down this whole front thing with the ore purifier machines and replace it with painite mines feeding a teleporter and putting the teleporter receiver right here. Okay, and see, the net amount is close to the same as when you're running those bismuth mines. Okay, now after you've upgraded to painite mine, to painites, okay, then you can start placing. Actually, reality is the drop rate of the painite mines is going to be a lot more than the bismuth, and you're also going to have less ore lag due to the beginning over here, so your ore limit will not be as taxed as hard with the painite, so you actually probably be about doubling the amount of money you'll be making because you'll be putting more painite through than you were with the osmium. Alright, and then this will net you hundreds of trillions of dollars, and then when you are good and set with the hundreds of trillions of dollars, then you can start upgrading to, once you get to 2 quadrillion, you'll get to this, and then this will in turn start making you even more money, and then from there you just slowly keep upgrading your system. Eventually get these, the cursed ore purifiers, and then if you get the cursed ore purifiers, then you put enough to get you just under 100 million. Remove these and get you enough to get you right under 100 million before coming into these. And then start slowly removing these and replacing them with Schrodinger evaluators. And then before you know it, you'll be making quadrillions and quintillions once you've got Schrodinger evaluators. Alright, so I hope I was able to explain this the best I could. So basically you're going to start off with a setup of like this, where it's a bunch of these ore purifier machines and the osmiums going in and going into the ore magnifier, and then into a bunch of way up high upgraders, into digital ore cleaners. You want to make sure that your stuff is blinking the whole time. Now the entire time you're making a steady amount of, about a trillion, every 10 seconds you're going to bring in close to a trillion. Okay, so you're making about 100 billion every second. This will get you into the higher trillions. As you can see, this entire time I've been talking to you, we are already close to 90 trillion. It's making a lot of money for an early game setup. And then you remove these, start adding painite mines over here, putting them into teleporters, which will feed into here. And then you can slowly start upgrading, removing these and replacing these with the cursed purifiers. And then once you have about 11 cursed purifiers in an entire row, then you start removing the digital ore cleaners and replacing them with Schrodinger's, and then you'll be making quadrillions constantly. Okay, and now it's all a medium to kind of slow process, but this should get you money pretty quickly. And like I said, if you get pirate cells, set up those pirate cells with the highest tier mine that you can possibly put in them, and those will also boost your cash. But like I said, this setup here, I was able to start you out with less than $12 trillion, and already we're at close to 90 trillion. Okay, and yes, I did bring my money down as low as I possibly could to make sure that I didn't spend very much money to get you guys started. So hopefully this helps some people. Again, the rules just that you got to follow and remember with Miners Haven is that there is an order to how things get upgraded, and that order starts with things that add dollar value to the ore. They go in the very beginning. Then right after the additive factor, then you have a capped percentage increase factor. That goes second, okay? And then third is your unpredictable factor, which would be your Schrodinger's. Now, after the Schrodinger's, because they are completely unpredictable, then goes your uncapped percentage increase items, and then very last, before you send your ores flying into a furnace, you will end it with multiplicative items. Things that, such as these ore scanners that triple the amount of the ore, that's multiplicative. So it takes the value of the ore and multiplies it by 3, but it has no cash cap. Okay? So I hope this was informative for you guys, and I hope you liked this video. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and let other people know that I'm out there trying to help you guys out with pretty good setups, and just to get you into your first reborn as fast as I can. I mean, look at that. I mean, the trillions are going up with this setup. It may not look like the best setup out there, but the reality is it is netting you trillions upon trillions of dollars. And when you upgrade it, the more you upgrade, you will see that those trillions will turn into quadrillions very quickly, and you can start this whole process with just $12 trillion. Okay? So, again, I am Dark J, and as always, stay awesome, and peace out.